Hey, welcome back to Bay Area Housewife of True Crime. We're at Timothy Bindner Part 2. As a reminder, topics may be triggering. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. The people mentioned are innocent until proven guilty in court. On November 19, 1988, around 9:30 a.m., Timothy failed a firefighter test on Winton Boulevard in Hayward, California. About 8 miles away on the same day at around 10:15 a.m., Michaela Joy Garrett was kidnapped from the Rainbow Market on Mission Boulevard, also in Hayward. Timothy says he drove back to Oakland and drove back to Hayward as soon as he saw Michaela's case on the evening news, and showed up at Michaela Garrett's home, offering his help to find her. Kim Schwartz Garcia was also there, helping Sharon and Rod Garrett find their daughter. A park ranger found Timothy at Garren Park and told him that the police were looking for him. Officer Ken Gross with the Hayward Police Department tells him, and I quote, I don't want you doing any searching. The park ranger issues Timothy a ticket for trespassing. Now get in your goddamn van and go back to Oakland, Ken Gross adds. And when I read that, I felt so proud to be from Hayward. And despite this encounter with Timothy, he continued helping. Ken Gross did not know that Tim had been in Hayward that morning. And the next day, on November 20th, 1988, Timothy began a search for Michaela for 2 weeks. On January 6, 1989, Timothy was arrested in San Pablo for the annoyance of children after he offered to buy underage girls alcohol from Adobe Liquors and hang out in his cool van. They found books of infanticide in his car. As they were booking him, a handwritten note saying, and I quote, I love you, Amber. You are my first, and I tried so hard for you. Tried plus cried, still this ache in my heart. They will always try to pull me back, but I never will. They don't know about us. They've never heard of us, unquote. And despite the aforementioned, the district attorney at the time dropped the charges. On January 11, 1989, a San Pablo detective, Thrower, issued a special information bulletin on Timothy. He says, and I quote, the above subject was arrested on 1689 for annoyance of children. A complaint was issued by the DA for this offense. It was also learned that he has been a suspect in the Amber Schwartz and Michaela Garrett disappearances. At this time, there is no evidence linking him to these disappearances. His van is very distinguishable and has posters of missing children attached to the interior. He also likes to frequent cemeteries, especially the grave sites of deceased children, unquote. On January 30th of 1989, Eileen Michaloff disappeared from Dublin, California. On February 11, 1989, Timothy started helping look for Eileen. On May 22, 1991, Timothy attended an Oakland A's game and saw 12-year-old Sheila Crossgrove. On May 23rd of 1991, Sheila Crossgrove's mom receives Timothy's first letter addressed to her daughter in Fairfield. On December 27, 1991, Amanda Nikki Campbell disappeared from Fairfield. On December 30th, 1991, Timothy called the hotline to set up for Nikki and offered his help. At this point, he was working at a sewage facility called Edmond, East Bay Municipal District. He got fired from the Social Security Administration for the second time, and Thursdays and Fridays were his days off. On December 30th of 1991, he also started writing letters to 12-year-old Sheila Crossgrove that lived 0.4 miles away from Nikki. Timothy said that the mother of this girl thanked him for the relationship with her young daughter as the family was in the middle of a divorce. He said, and I quote, "Her mother wrote to me and thanked me because the girl needs a man in her life," end quote. About a week after Nikki vanished, authorities found Timothy Bindner climbing through some bushes near Nikki's home, and dogs tracked her scent to his car. As I've mentioned before, bloodhounds are not 100% admissible in court. Just like lie detectors, they are a tool investigators use. On January 1st, 1992, dogs tracked Nikki's scent to Angela Bouquet's grave. On January 3rd, 1992, Timothy wrote 12-year-old Sheila Crossgrove another letter saying, "It was a shock and sadness that I learned that little Amanda Campbell is missing and she lives so close to you. I have searched for other missing kids, Amber Schwartz, Michaela Garrett. If I have a chance, I will try to find Amanda also." On January 11th, 1992, dogs tracked Timothy's scent to a bushy hill above and behind Sheila Crossgrove's home, 0.4 miles away from Nikki. In 1992, Fairfield police searched his home and identified him as the only suspect for the 1991 abduction of Amanda Nikki Campbell. On December 9th of 1992, the Fairfield police searched Timothy's home and did not find enough evidence to arrest him. On February 28, 1993, Sharon Peterson and her 3-year-old daughter were visiting a relative's grave at St. Mary's in Oakland when Timothy Bindner came out of the bushes. Sharon recognized him from the news, told him to stay away from her and her daughter, grabbed her daughter's hand, and ran away. She called 911 and he was arrested for a DUI of he blew a .20. It was dismissed. 3 days later, he was detained at the Mountain View Cemetery. Someone had reported a weird man with a backpack at the cemetery. The cops searched and released him. On June 9, 1993, Timothy Bindner filed a $25 million lawsuit against the city of Fairfield and homicide detective Harold Sagan. In May of 1995, a federal judge dismissed Timothy's allegations that the police illegally searched his home. The judge agreed that police had a valid search warrant based on Timothy's behavior. On April 24, 1996, Larry Christopher Graham was arrested for the murder of Angela Bouquet. After a 3-month trial in October of 2003, Larry Christopher Graham was convicted for the murder of Angela Bouquet and sentenced to death. On a Tuesday morning at about 6 a.m., June 16th of 2009, Larry was found dead in his cell at San Quentin State Prison. It was ruled a suicide. On May 2nd, 1997, the city of Fairfield settled their lawsuit brought onto them on defamation allegations against Timothy Bindner, and the city admitted no fault. Timothy Bindner was only publicly named a suspect in the Amanda Nikki Campbell case by the Fairfield police in 1992, and the settlement was in the amount of $90,000. I was appalled to read on October 29th, 1996, Contra Costa Times, October 29th, 1996, Mercury News, November 3rd, 1996, Sacramento Bee, May 7th, 1997, Contra Costa Times, and May 9th, 1997, Mercury News articles that compared Timothy Bindner's defamation case to the Richard Jewell's defamation case, despite the fact that in May of 1995, a federal judge dismissed Timothy's allegations that the police illegally searched his home. And the judge agreed the police had a valid search warrant for Timothy's behavior, but as it's in today's topic.